What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, episode 56. And for the second time in our history, we are live and in living color, Daddy, from the Happy's Energy and Nutrition Studios. My name is Willie Ray, and that guy right there, if he would put his headset on, he could tell you exactly who he is. Who are you?
My name is Jeremy. And we're excited to have you guys here for our second live ever. We got some stuff to talk about. I think something kind of happened yesterday, Willie.
Yeah. You and I combined, along with all of our listeners, had just as many hits yesterday as the Murray State Racers baseball team did.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks to one Gage. We got that wood. Tweet of the day, by the way, was Darren McFadden. We got that wood. tweet of the day.
The only person who can say that.
Yeah, right. Ladies and gentlemen, for the third time in the history of the College World Series, we had a no-hitter pitched by Batesville, Arkansas's own Gage Wood. To say this was electrifying would be an understatement.
Of the century.
Yeah, it would be a disrespect to electricity. This was 19 strikeouts and one back foot breaking ball away from perfection. The only runner that reached base was on like I said, a back foot breaking ball that he just didn't move, tip of the cap, hit the back foot, and that was the only thing that stopped him from 27 up, 27 down. I gotta say, the best game pitched in the history of Arkansas baseball. Phil Elson said that on his final call, which was fantastic. Phil's the man. Is it the best pitch game in the history of the College World Series? I mean, I know there were two before that, but
it has to be because
not
we were
with 19 Ks.
One pitch away from perfection.
Right. Not with 19 Ks and not with something that really felt like a perfect game, even though it wasn't.
Right. Also,
could,
hi, Mama. Mama Wilson's on here. She says, love y'all.
Love you too, Tammy. I have to tell you that you never want to voice it. So, like, I know you were feeling it too.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to talk to you.
Even though we couldn't, like, text back, you never talk about it. Mm-hmm. That's baseball taboo. Never talk about it. In about the third inning, you started thinking, dude, he's got no hit stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's got no hit stuff. And in particular, if they can't lay off that high fastball, they're going to keep swinging through it.
Right.
You cannot hit that. But they made a big deal out of it in the broadcast, and it's the truth. The plane at which he releases the ball. If you've never stood in the box when somebody has that kind of action on the fastball, it's not rising, but it appears as if it's rising.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's almost like he throws it up a ramp. And if you swing at it, it's at eye level, so it looks big as a beach ball coming in there.
Yeah.
If you swing at it, there's absolutely no way you can hit it, particularly when it's coming almost 100 miles an hour.
Right.
The fastball wasn't the difference maker. And I know that sounds crazy because most of his strikeouts just came on the heater.
That curveball.
It's not the difference maker for him. The difference maker for him, and when he's going to be a problem, is when he's landing that curveball.
That thing's nasty.
When he's landing the curveball and people, yeah, because it's a legit out pitch. But when he's landing it, they have to respect it. And that makes the 98 mile an hour fastball look like 108.
Yeah, and that curveball's coming in at what, 83?
Yeah, it's
84.
Now, we could go the rest of our lives and never see a pitching performance like that again.
Yeah.
I have watched baseball. I feel like since I was old enough to see. I've only watched one no-hitter from beginning to end, and that was 25 years ago. I think Bud Smith did it for the Cardinals, and
I've never seen it.
And you couldn't tell me who Bud Smith is. I I only remember that name because he was a rookie who threw a no-hitter for the Cardinals against the Padres. And I'm a lifelong St. Louis Cardinal fan, so I was just watching the game because it was on. That's the only time I've ever sat and watched first inning through ninth inning, beginning to end, a no-hitter. So the second time will be much more memorable.
Right.
Great hashtag, by the way, that I almost used, didn't, when I posted on Twitter afterwards. I was this close to hashtagging Omaha. And then to find out that the Arkansas baseball social media ran with it. I know you're watching me. I know you're
That's
watching
twice.
me because this is the second time this has happened. And the first time it was actually out for public consumption. I scooped the Field of Dreams line. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Omaha.
But is this heaven? No, it's Omaha. The very next day, it felt like hours later. That's a caption from the Arkansas Razorback social media team. And I, of course, screenshotted it and shot it right back over to my co-host and said, they're stealing my shit. Like, that's not what's happening, but that's what I'm going to tell myself.
Yeah. But Hogs get it done yesterday. Only needed one run because one Gage Wood said, "It's my time."
Right. We have to say props to the Murray State Racers on
100%.
an unbelievable run. A 4 seed to get out of your regional. In particular, that was the Oxford regional. They got out of an SEC regional,
took out Ole Miss,
win the Supers, and get to Omaha. Coach Skirka and those guys from Murray, Kentucky. I mean, pardon me while I applaud.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, they averaged 600 to 800 people. It's like free admission to get into the ballpark.
I think I saw that they don't charge admission. Now, we saw some stuff that turned out not to be true. Coach Skirka pretty much squashed the rumor that he mows the grass. He said he could.
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't.
But he did say in the post conference they got nobody on full rides there. None of those guys are really getting paid.
No,
they're just dogs.
How could Murray State attract any NIL? All due respect, you're not going to get NIL from Kentucky. NIL, if NIL money is going anywhere in Kentucky, it's going to the University of Kentucky in the basketball program. That's you're not going to draw any money. They made some fans the past couple of weeks, and that can only help. But when you're Murray State, you're going to continue to kind of be Murray State,
right?
Thanks for the ride. That was fun. I hated that it had to end against my team. I hated that because I would have loved to have kept pulling for them.
Yeah.
Somebody had to go home. It's Murray State first. Arkansas, as of this afternoon, which may sound weird if you're not paying attention, because the game that was supposed to be LSU and UCLA
last night
started last night. We got through 3 innings and Mother Nature showed up, and she never left. Downpour on the city of Omaha. The finish of this game got pushed to 10 a.m. Central Time here in Arkansas. So at 10 a.m., we got the last, 6 innings of LSU and UCLA. LSU clearly the better team here. The final score was
9-5.
9-5. It didn't feel that close. The story here is Anthony Ianson started this game last night and threw 40-something, almost 50 pitches, and was obviously, after this long layoff, not in the game today. So the story becomes, what does LSU do pitching-wise? Do you see Anthony Ianson at some point? Because LSU has advanced, they're the 2-0 team out of this side of the bracket. They will play tomorrow the winner of UCLA and Arkansas that takes place at 6 p.m. tonight. 6 p.m. ish.
Yeah,
I would think it would be pushed back a little bit with the addition of having to finish the game this morning. Louisville and Oregon State are playing right now. I think it's a slim lead for Louisville right now. Man, as an Arkansas fan, I love that this game got pushed out the way that it did. Make them play today.
Yeah.
When the schedule was that whoever won this game last night, if it ended last night, that today was going to be their scheduled off day.
Yeah, now they don't have one.
And now they've played 6 innings on their off day. So there is no off day. And as an Arkansas fan and a fan of a team that is coming out of the losers bracket, because since we've last seen you guys, Arkansas did get dealt a losing hand by a bad man named Cade Anderson. That is a bad boy.
Top 2 pick.
If you listen to this podcast, your boys have told you LSU is a national championship contender if Cade Anderson and Anthony Einstein are on the bump. Those two guys make them probably the best team in the country.
Yeah.
Without them, things open up a little bit.
Right.
So Arkansas getting these guys in game 1, if they're able to get past UCLA, you've got to assume it's either somebody that's not those two or it's Anthony Einstein on a very, very short leash. Things open up when it's not Anderson or Einstein.
Right.
So it's kind of a different animal. You guys just have to, and I said this, look, if you take anything from this podcast today, sometimes you lose a game because the opponent's really good. Not because you have to blame somebody or somebody choked or whatever. Look, Arkansas fans,
we could do this for hours.
Cade Anderson was so good the other night that it took 1 inning of small ball offense to win this game. It took 2 walks, a perfect bunt single,
another walk.
I think there were 2. 2 back-to-back walks to start the inning, was the kiss of death. You can't do that. But back-to-back walks, a perfect bunt single to load the bases. The next guy scores on a back foot breaking ball that hits the guy in the foot. And then a cap, an end of the bat cap single.
Yep.
That was the offense. LSU's offense was extremely pedestrian. And in any other situation, Zach Root stays in that game.
Yeah. The whole Zach Root sucks. Did you see him in the first inning?
Yeah.
He was dealing and he walked 2 guys.
Look, if that's your narrative, with all due respect, log off. Like if that's your narrative, with all due respect, don't listen to our podcast anymore.
Yeah, we can talk about this all the time. I've been blocked on Facebook by people for just telling them to calm down.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was beating Cade Anderson that night. And if you know college baseball, going into this game, we need starting pitching to match zeros with this guy. And if we get down by multiple runs, it's probably curtains. And that's exactly what happened. What we need to do as Arkansas fans is tip the cap to Gabe Gackle for saving the rest of your staff and keeping you in the game, where if you had a 2 or 3 run inning, we may be talking about a different thing here.
Yeah.
But Gabe Gackle for 90 pitches in game 1 was nails, and you needed somebody to be that way. Now, that big picture is what makes Gage Wood. Obviously, he made history, and that should be said first.
Yes.
But as a team, big picture, to know that you have a bullpen that got the day off.
Yeah.
That got the day off when you're trying to come out of the losers bracket. Jeremy, when you're trying to come when you go 0-1, which, let's just face it, somebody was going 0-1 out of this heavyweight fight right here. Somebody was going 0-1.
And you got to win 4 straight.
And so if you're going to win 4 straight, people have to do things they don't normally do in order for that to happen. A no-hitter at the College World Series would definitely qualify as something that somebody normally doesn't do. So we have, skipping forward to tonight, 6 p.m., right before we came on the air, we know now Zach Root will be back on the hill
against UCLA
for UCLA tonight. Initially, I was
Irate.
I was despondent over this decision because I've watched UCLA play twice now, and I think that Arkansas could get away with a Landon Bottleshees or something like that tonight. But the more I think about it, you're not supposed to be able to have your number one guy in a 1-1 matchup.
Right.
So go ahead and
Use him.
Go ahead and use it. We were never going to we never planned on having him in these two games against LSU anyway.
Right.
So go ahead and use him and get there. Now, yeah, it's a different situation where Root only threw 38 pitches in the first game.
Yeah.
So getting him out was kind of a move where it was he doesn't look sharp. But B, if we're not able to come back, we can
use him later.
We can bring him back. And you got to tip the cap to DVH if this works out tonight. Either way, that you're in an elimination game
and you have your start.
And you have your Friday night guy going. That you got to tip the cap to Dave Van Horn. He actually said in the press conference, I stand by it. It was the right decision. And we're seeing that now. It's coming to fruition right now that it was the right decision. Arkansas is on the right end of a pitching matchup tonight against a team that had to play 6 innings earlier today. And let's be frank, got beat around the ballpark.
Yeah, that 9-5 makes it look a lot closer than it actually was.
Yeah. UCLA last night in the top of the first jumps up 3-0.
And then the bottom of the first went down 4-3.
Right. They jump out 3-0. The final score
9-5.
15 hours later or whatever is 9-5.
Yeah.
LSU is worlds better than UCLA. We would have loved to have gotten LSU tonight and only had to beat them once. But the fact of the matter remains, we knew when this bracket came out, you're going to have to end LSU's season to get out of here.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to. Now, can it be done? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do I see things happening that make me cautiously optimistic about it? Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're asking me what I think is going to happen, I think we're destined for Game 7. I think we're destined for a deciding game on I guess it would be Thursday night. I think we're destined for that. I think Arkansas matches up better against LSU. Should they get past UCLA? I don't want to make it sound like I'm looking past them, but I'm looking past them. I'm not a player. We wouldn't have a podcast if we didn't assume shit.
Right.
So assuming Arkansas gets past UCLA, I like Arkansas in this first matchup with LSU because it's not a normal situation where you've got – I don't think you're getting the best of – even if you get Ianson tomorrow, I don't think you're getting the best of that two-headed monster.
Right.
I don't –
And he didn't – I'm not judging. He didn't look sharp against UCLA.
No, they
put up 3.
They knocked him around in the first inning, but he was settling in. He was absolutely settling in because you got to think he threw, I think, 44 pitches, something like that. And the first inning, they scored 3 runs. So those next 2 were had to be bang, bang. He was settling in. That's a legit two-headed monster. And it makes them way better than the sum of their parts actually are. Pitching makes up for a lot of sins. And that's what, I mean, God bless them. That's what this program's living on.
Yeah. I can't look too far ahead. You want to look what's in front of you. We're on step 2 of 4.
If a team was ever built to do this,
it's us.
Yeah, they're built.
And the way that the bullpen is. We've only used 2 arms.
Arkansas has arms on top of arms on top of arms, and they've gotten length where they didn't expect it. So it's not like you're coming into a situation where you don't have the arms to get this done. And at some point, hopefully tonight and tomorrow, at some point we know this offense is going to explode. They have to. At some point, you know this offense is going to explode. You're getting big time performances from 1 and 2 pieces. Justin Thomas had a 4-hit game. Had a 4-hit game that got lost, rightfully so, in the mess of a no-hitter. But Justin Thomas had 4 hits. We got to get production from guys like Kahil Aloy, who I feel like he's pulling off and swinging through anything that has any kind of wrinkle in it.
Yeah.
You got to keep your head on the ball, kid. Brent Iredale looks like he's literally swinging a bat to protect himself from the baseball. He looks like he is scared.
He
like
does.
I mean,
And that's my guy.
He every swing he takes looks defensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's attacking the baseball.
Well, the first 2 strikes he's looking at are the best 2 pitches he gets.
Yeah, bro, you're good. Swing the bat. Swing the bat.
But as a group, I mean, we had 10 hits yesterday with 3 runs.
I do like seeing SEC Player of the Year, Vahivo Loy. Seems like he's kind of locking in a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the only outs that he made yesterday
Bullet
was the hardest hit ball of the tournament, maybe. I think the exit velo was like 112, just right at the shortstop. Great base running on that play, by the way, to get doubled off at third. I think we're close.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think this sets up to where we build a little confidence tonight.
We have to. Yeah, we put up 6 more hits against the Murray State, who, by the way, got to give credit to that pitcher. His stuff was nasty.
He was nasty.
His stuff was diving down, but we got 10 hits, 3 runs. So you definitely you want to have the situational.
It's not what you hit; it's when you hit. Arkansas needs to get these hits with runners on base.
That's it.
That's just the thing. With runners on base, you got to bring them in. Now, I will say,
Reese Robinette, we gotta bring him up.
Big Country swinging it. Man.
He is.
Big Country swinging it.
And he was my chink in the armor if we had one.
Yeah.
And he's been very consistent.
Yeah. Big Country swinging it. I really like. I think Kojal's close.
He's all over it.
I think Kojal's close.
Same with Davalon.
Kojal's close to having a big game. Chuck has been steady.
Mm-hmm.
He's been that steady guy. Maxwell seems like he's overswinging a little bit. You got like that, and Ryder Helfrich, same thing. He's overswinging.
Yeah,
and he's overthinking stuff. Like
I think when they put him in the 4-hole, he put a different position in his brain, like big time. Just play free.
And for the love of God, stop swinging in a slider low and away, because that's what they're going to keep throwing you.
Him and Cahill are doing that.
That's what they're going to keep throwing it if you keep swinging at it.
Right.
You can't hit it with a bolt paddle. And I wonder sometimes, do these guys lose sight of the count in the situation in certain like if you're down 0-2, I can almost guarantee you if you strike out in 3 pitches, you got to kind of tip your cap looking. I can almost guarantee you that next pitch is not going to be in the strike zone.
Yeah, for some reason we're guessing fastball outside when it's a slider that goes 6 feet out.
And that's that seems to be a baseball wide thing where it seems like there is no such thing as a 2-strike approach.
Right.
There is no such thing as looking at the situation and going, would I throw me a strike here? You know what I mean? Would I throw me a strike? Is this going to be in the strike
zone?
zone?
For Ryder being a catcher.
Yeah.
Like Ryder knows the strike zone. He knows what.
Would you throw you a strike here?
Yeah, you're calling the game.
Yeah. Would you throw you a strike? Probably not.
But got to just tip your cap to this entire tournament has been exciting as hell to watch.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I love this. For those of you who don't know, on this side, Coastal beats Oregon State day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Coastal, out of all of this, is getting the biggest reward. This bracket up here, they knew what they were doing.
I don't know how one side gets 2 days off and the other one doesn't.
Coastal is getting 2 days rest. The winner of that game, Oregon State and Coastal, was going to get a 2-day, which I was so confused on. But Coastal doesn't play until tomorrow. They were off yesterday and today. Oregon State, Louisville currently playing right now. And UCLA lost this morning. I'm excited for this game, though.
Right.
I really am. It's a make or break situation.
Guys to watch for UCLA, there's really only one. Their shortstop, Rock Cholowski, is a dude.
Dude.
He is the projected by everyone the #1 overall draft pick for the 2026 Major League Baseball draft. An absolute monster.
Yeah.
Has already made some dazzling plays on defense. He's a dude that he's worth the price of admission to watch. It's worth the price of admission to watch these 2 shortstops tonight.
Yeah. But I think it's a make or break. Yes. This has got to be the turning point for us. The offense has got to have the light switch moment. It's got to. And I think that leaks into tomorrow whenever you finally go up against whoever LSU decides, though, if it's Einstein, if they're going to bring in their 3rd guy.
Yeah, I don't know how big of an impact this will have, but the fact remains that it is a fact. that today was supposed to be an off day for the 2-0 team on this side, and now
wasn't.
they have no off days because they played 6 innings of competitive baseball today. Evans for LSU threw 80 pitches,
Somewhere 60, 70, 80 in there.
Yeah, I mean those were pitches he was not supposed to throw today.
Yeah. I'm excited. That's all I can say. I'm excited for 6 o'clock. It's probably gonna be a little bit later than that.
There are 3 really big steps to be taken for Arkansas to get to the finals. But I like where their mindset's at. I don't feel like they panicked when they went down 0-1. I feel like they're taking their lead from the general. I don't think DVH is panicked.
No.
I think DVH has got to feel good about the fact that he's got his guy going tonight.
Right.
Because you weren't supposed to. You weren't supposed to. Your number 1 guy was not supposed to pitch tonight. And now that's happened. You've got a leg up. So it can get you to the bracket final and see if you can force another game. Again, I think it sets up better, way better for Arkansas tomorrow against LSU. It's not even comparable to what you had in game 1.
No.
It's not even comparable. Cade Anderson and Anthony Einstein both are absolute monsters. That's the one that, like, for any casuals out there, we love you too, but that's what you need to know is Cade Anderson and Anthony Einstein make LSU go. They're monsters. LSU is a very good baseball team that has a 1-2 punch that makes them great, that takes them from very good to great. Their offense has the capability of scoring runs, but it's not laden with stars where, a couple years ago when they won the national championship, it was Dylan Cruz, it was Tommy White. There were stars there that you knew if you're going to get beat, it's going to be these guys that do it.
Right.
There's not that guy. They manufacture runs. The fact that they put together a small ball inning the other night was very anti-Jay Johnson, very anti-LSU. They have to piece together innings that way.
Yeah.
The starting pitching is what makes them tough, and I think it opens up for Arkansas, particularly in the first game if they are able to get there, particularly in the first game of this. Now, do they bring back somebody? Cade Anderson, do they bring him back
if we make it to Thursday?
On short rest for Thursday? Me personally, absolutely.
Because your best guy.
You have to worry about the final when you get there. You have to use your best guy to get there. And I think given what Cade Anderson did on Saturday, you take your chances and bring him back on short rest. Because if you leave him sitting on the bench and you go home, it's going to get loud.
Yeah.
It's going to get loud. I think if Arkansas forces a game, they're just going to have to beat Cade Anderson and hope that you get him not quite as sharp because he's on short rest.
Right.
And get ready for 13 million shots of his mom in the stands.
Golly, dude.
They showed her multiple times during the game today, and he wasn't pitching. They got her reaction to Evans pitching, and he's not even in the game.
Yeah.
I may make some people mad when I say this, but I don't think Corinna Anderson or whatever her last name was is going to see this. You can just tell she's like the head of the HOA or something in her neighborhood. Did she not give off like she's a bitch?
No.
She gave off those vibes. The short haircut, the flashy earrings. I would not be surprised to find out that she's tough to sit around during these games. That was Willie Ray that said that, not Jeremy.
No, it's okay.
If y'all want to get mad at somebody, get mad at me.
No, we're not getting mad.
I think she had a very fitting name. I think it was Corinna, but it was spelled Karen with an A. Take the A off, and we got what we got.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Multiple. It was
very weird.
I get like small pieces, like every now and again of her excitement at the end of the inning. I get that maybe, but like it was almost every other pitch. It was almost every other.
To be fair, I didn't like it when they were doing it over and over with Gage Wood's parents either.
Like I let them do the end of an inning.
I think that whole dynamic is weird. Showing parents and family and stuff like that in the stands one time is fine. But don't go back to over and over.
It's
and
kind of
over.
like the Kelsey Taylor Swift touchdown situation, or every catch. Like it was just
first
annoying.
the first time I remember ever seeing that, in my teenage years, I guess preteen maybe even, was Arkansas would play Ole Miss in football, and Eli Manning was quarterback, and all you would see is Archie all game long. They'd cut to Archie Manning all game long, and I remember the look. He had the khaki Ole Miss hat and the bright yellow radio headphones on, and it just cut to him after every snap. It seemed like, and it just, man, you got to stop. It's weird. It just comes off as very, very weird. And then to cut to her multiple times today,
That's wild.
yeah, that just crazy.
Mama just said it. Louisville home run, 3-0 Louisville right now.
Yeah, look at the cards. They're trying to do what Arkansas is doing. They are the 0-1 team out of this side, and they're trying to come all the way back. If I'm going off of what I would a fair matchup in the finals, it would only make sense for us Arkansas fans to want Louisville here, because you'd have Arkansas coming back from 0-1, Louisville coming back from 0-1. We're kind of on an even playing field. We
Right.
As far as like who's left, who's not, we've had to piece together some stuff to get through.
Yeah, getting there, we're excited. But if you had a perfect scenario and you have to build it, Coastal's not the team that you want.
No, because let me
you
tell
want
you
Louisville or Oregon State for sure.
We were talking about this LSU pitching staff. The only one that's even comparable to them is right here. Coastal's pitching staff is gross,
And they're not having to use a lot.
no, and they've won what 28 in a row.
Yeah.
Now I think that's got to snap at some point. So keep doing it, but man, they're.
We're definitely pulling for whoever's in the losers bracket on their side.
Their coach seems like a bit of a drama queen by now, where it's like every time you're in front of a microphone, it seems like you're playing up the disrespect thing. You know, like he kind of, everybody say it with me. It's Chanticleer's, not Chanticleer. Man, come on, get out of here.
Who cares?
Yeah, like nobody. Stop trying. He comes off as a phony tough guy to me.
Yeah,
just you're trying to be tough. You're trying to. Nobody's impressed. Cut it out.
Yeah.
I'm impressed enough by your baseball team and how good they are. Nobody's impressed by you, not by your toughness. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop.
I think by rule here, Arkansas should be the home team tonight.
I can't keep up with that because I think higher seeds should always be home team. It doesn't make any sense to me that they just flip flop it back and forth. We were the visiting team from Murray State yesterday, and that made no sense to me.
I think what they try to do, I don't agree with it, is if you were the road team on the game before and then the home team lost, they will automatically flip you. They wanted to make sure Murray had a home seed once.
I would love to see that you made sense of all of it, because I can't keep up. To me, if you're the higher seed,
you should, yeah,
you should be a home team.
But UCLA today, this morning for LSU, was the road team because they were the home team against Murray.
Oh my gosh, I love this Razorback Energy Tea from Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham.
And then LSU was the road team against Arkansas. So they gave LSU the home squad today. So my thing would be Arkansas flips back to the home team today. Is my.
You're going to pay me for that advertisement I just gave you?
Not at all.
Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham.
So I think we're home. And I'm hoping we're wearing pinstripes.
Dude, wow. We need the pinstripes. I need pinstripe energy is what I need.
We went whites. We went grays like always. Game 2 is always
I will say my favorite uniform combo. My favorite uniform. I love the grays. I do. I think the one that Jeremy's wearing right now.
It's my favorite jersey.
I love the grays.
With the red and grays,
I would want red tops. This red top right here with the same script lettering and everything. I love that look. Red top, pinstripe pants would be sick.
For some reason this year with the new logo, because this logo was actually inspired from the red uniform. The red jerseys have always had this font. We went to
Not always. They had that stupid little razor font that we've had for
Right.
the last.
I mean,
I hope they're slowly doing away with that.
in recent times, they went with this on the grays used to just say Arkansas, the whites used to say Arkansas, the pinstripes said Razorbacks last year.
Yeah,
And now they went to all. This is the script, no matter what jersey.
I love the tail. I love the consistency of doing this on every jersey. If I have one complaint, just one, and it's for visual purposes more than anything, because you got people watching on TV, you got broadcasters trying to figure out who people are, particularly when the seasons first start and you're not used to just people's faces. Like if I saw Charles Davalon, I would know that was him at this point. Beginning of the year, no idea. I need the number up front.
Yeah. On the little side.
Yeah, I need the number up front as well as on the back, but I need the number up front.
That's also how they used to have it too.
It gives it a very clean look up front without it, but it also feels empty. I need
a little number down here.
I need a number.
But this logo is fantastic, but I don't know why, because when we went to Fayetteville for our game to watch them, they are not even selling the red jersey unless you're at the stadium. Like no stores are selling the red. They're selling pinstripe.
I just think that's a university thing where it's like you have to come to the game to get this.
I think what I think it is with the new logo and new uniform, they don't like that's been around. The red didn't change in the past 2 or 3 years. I think
you're just trying to sell the new ones.
I think so. And at the stadium they had some red ones, but that was the only place.
Yeah,
no shops.
Follow the money. That's
and
how
so
you get the answer to that.
We didn't. If you watched last year, our uniforms at home were white, red, and then creams, and we wore pinstripes
That's another thing
on
too.
Tuesdays.
We got to pull out the creams at some point. You got to feel like the creams are going to make an appearance in Omaha at some point. If they went creams tonight, I wouldn't be upset.
I doubt it. I think they go white or pinstripe. But then you have during the week games was our pinstripe last year. This year we went whites first, pinstripe second, creams third. We did grays a few times this year on all 3 weekend games on the road. We also did.
I don't dislike that because it's very traditional that the road team wears gray.
Right, but we also did one, and I actually liked it. We did it's 1 or 2 weekends. We did our game 2. So game 1 all grays. Game 2 was red top, gray bottom, and then game 3 was back to all gray.
I will say, not that this is like a fashion podcast, but Arkansas is pretty much killing the jersey game in any combo these days.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I would never hate the red with the white pinstripe pant.
In any combo, Arkansas is kind of killing the uniform game baseball wise. It's very classy, but also it's a modern take on a classic look.
I'll tell you who's not killing it. Louisville.
Yeah, those
atrocious.
Look, man.
Looks like we're in a slow pitch softball.
No disrespect to those of you that are playing slow pitch softball out there, but we all understand that outlandish is kind of the way that you go with slow pitch softball.
Louisville's out there.
Not baseball. I say outlandish, but some of my favorite combos are the old school Oakland A's stuff, where it's that loud gold yellow. And that's not,
but that's solid.
That's not what we're talking about when we
say
it's
kind of checkered.
That's not what we're talking about when we say outlandish. When we say outlandish, we're talking about like the old Pittsburgh Pirate stuff that was just awful. The like honeybee striped hats and all that stuff. Awful, terrible. There's a reason why that got left in the 70s. It was terrible.
We got a few things in the chat. We've got Zach. Zach saying, "What do y'all think about the call in the start from Root tonight?" We talked about it a little bit earlier.
You don't
at first we didn't like it.
Yeah, you don't plan to have your number one guy in this situation, and if you do, use him.
Yeah, we at first were not huge fans of it because we thought Beidelshees would be a great spot here, save Root, but we didn't have him planned, and DVH didn't have him planned to even be here and be available. So you need to use him.
Bigger picture, way out ahead. Okay, way out ahead. This day makes sense to start him between Tuesday. If you have a choice between Tuesday or Wednesday, Tuesday makes a lot more sense if you're trying to get him back at some point during the finals.
Right.
So I think that was the deciding factor. I think maybe not the deciding factor. I think the biggest factor was that the season's on the line and we have our number one guy available,
Right.
so let's use him.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think if you're looking ahead and you make the run to the finals, you want to be able to pitch him at some point. And I think the best move to be able to pitch him would be pitch him now. Now, I'm also talking as a guy. When this came out, I was despondent. We'll go back to when this came out. I literally said, that's horrible. That no way. You can't do that. And then I came off the ledge and realized that I'm just a dude with a podcast and DVH has won like 1,300 games.
Right.
So maybe we just roll with the guy. You know what I mean? Maybe we just let him make the call and enjoy the game as fans.
For sure.
So you're not expecting to have your number one guy in a 1-on-1 matchup, elimination game. You've got him with the season on the line.
Use him.
If you don't use him and your season ends, you look like morons. So use him.
I don't know if he has a leash on this one either, Zach.
Absolutely not.
I think you just unload him.
You've got all off season to rest. You got all off season to rest. Full go. We're going 120. If you can go 9, we're going 9.
Because he only threw 38, and that was Saturday, and today's Tuesday. So he's had 2.5 full days of rest.
One of the biggest reasons that we haven't talked about that I'm sure he went Zach Root here was he gives you your best shot at length, which is important right now
for tomorrow and the next
because you needed one of two things to happen yesterday. You needed us to jump out by 10 runs and then pull Gage Wood after a couple innings, or you needed Gage Wood to go 8 and 9. I didn't have a no-hitter on my bingo card, but here we are.
Right.
The fact that your guy went 9 innings and everybody got the day off, just as huge as winning the game, maybe bigger. So length is important here. I think he saw my number one guy could go 7 or 8 and give me ipso facto another day of a full bullpen rest for my dudes.
Yeah, because we're going to have to use everybody this next 2.
The most important thing here offensively, we got to bust out. At some point, you've got to bust out ahead.
Yeah, the only reason we would pull him yesterday would be because we don't want the length of the bullpen to be used. So that's the only reason why we would pull Gage Wood. If we went up 7-0 in the second inning, we're going to need him against LSU, or we're going to need 4 other arms. So, like, you had to pick your poison.
Right. When
either short toss him or long toss him.
You remember we got that quote before the Texas series from Matt Hobbs where he told Zach Root, they didn't pay money to see you pitch 4 innings. He's been told that again today. Or maybe, they could have had this plan for days, but he's been told that we need you to go deep. It's time for you to be a dude.
Be that guy.
This has the Creighton feel. This has the Tennessee feel where it's, look, we need you to go out and be the dude.
Yeah.
And then offensively, they're being told, if we have to go to the bullpen in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, put some runs on the board where it can be guys that we
don't necessarily
traditionally wouldn't be in this situation if the game was tight.
Yeah, we don't need a tight game. We need something a little space.
This needs to be the best 9 innings we played all year.
Yeah, and this I think can open that door for the offense to get going because UCLA's pitching wasn't all that great.
You send a message to the rest of the field tonight that this 0-1 team that you're kind of burying, you're going to have to beat them one of these next 2, and it's not going to be easy.
Exactly.
Time to send a message today. We send UCLA, who's a game squad. Who's a game squad. But let's call a spade here. UCLA got to the College World Series because they got out of their regional, and when they got out of their regional, they were supposed to be paired up with Texas, and Texas got beat by UTSA. So no disrespect to UTSA, but Texas you are not, even though you beat them. Like, we understand UCLA got I don't want to say a cakewalk, but you weren't supposed to play UTSA in the Supers.
Right.
So they play UTSA in the Supers, and they got here on the strength of an upset in the opposite bracket. I'm not calling them a pretender, but if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Yeah.
They got an easy draw in their supers, and then lo and behold, when they get here, they get Murray State in the first round. So you should be 1-1. You know what I mean? You should make it to Omaha, and then you should win your first game. UCLA hasn't done anything that's noteworthy since they've been here. They're barely a step up from Murray State as far as who is the weakest draw in here. Arkansas should win this game handily.
I agree.
Now, granted, if this is a tight game, I don't want you guys coming on saying, "Oh, they barely beat UCLA." Look, W's and L's are all that matter right now. W's and L's are all that matter right now. We need 3 more W's. That's what you need to be telling yourself. And it's got to start one right here.
Seth, are you saying on here that Louisville, what opening night uniforms, if it's those red tops that say Louisville in red with the number in red while the whole jersey's red,
Yeah,
that's and with the number on the back with no name on the back.
That's an abomination.
That's the crap I'm talking about.
That's an abomination.
Also, I want to veto. If you have money, if you're a Power 4 school or an Oregon State, I think it looks horrible when you don't have the kid's name on the back. I just do. I don't think it's clean. I think it looks weird. I think in baseball, if you're that level, I think you gotta have the kid's name on the back. Just me, it just looks like you're not a team, a contender.
I think the kid has earned the right to have their name on the back. I think
it's always been my thing with uniforms.
The kids earn the right to have the name on the back. I think.
He said cream Cardinals uniform.
I think
I like creams though. I am a cream fan.
I think no name on the back gives the vibe of budget issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no name on the back gives high school vibes where it's like
where's his Cardinals?
Somebody else has to win. Somebody else has to wear that jersey later.
Yeah.
So
this isn't yours.
Yeah, it's ours. It's not yours.
Yeah, I'll agree, Seth, that the creams look way better than say Louisville or Cardinals across it.
You're renting this jersey. You're not. Okay, let's go back because if we're talking about uniforms, the sickest uniform I've seen in a minute, and I'm glad that it gave me a reason to watch because I would have totally missed this. I would have never watched Cincinnati play. Cincinnati, when they were in the Knoxville Regional, broke out a take on the old uniforms from when Sandy Koufax played.
Yeah.
For Cincinnati. If you don't know who Sandy Koufax is, do you even baseball? It's the greatest left-hander in the history of baseball. Look it up. So back when Sandy Koufax played, they did like a modern take on this. Dude, look those up. They are so sick.
Zach, I'm a high socks guy myself.
Not me.
If we go long, I like them to be tight though. I don't like baggy.
Let me be clear. I'm not a high socks guy. Like no shows.
Yeah.
I love when they came out with the pants that fit like jeans.
You like baggy or do you like them to be more fitted? I think baggy looks weird to me.
Baggy looks weird. Baggy looks lazy to me. It just does. It looks lazy.
Yeah.
I'm a low sock guy, no show. But if we're going to go high, everybody has to go high. It has to be a team thing. If we're going to go high, everybody has to go high. Like if we've got stirrups and we're doing like, the Cardinals did the high sock Sunday where it's like every Sunday we're going high socks and it's a team thing. That's fine because everybody's doing I want uniforms to be just that, uniform.
I think if we have to go high socks, though, it's got to be like a retro vibe. Like your uniform needs to be the creams.
Give me the stirrups.
Yeah.
Great look. Classic stirrups.
Creams or pinstripes need to do it.
If you have stirrups on, you have to go high because that's the whole point of having them. They're there to show. Because the old school stirrups are the ones that you tuck under the foot. And so it's there to show. It's part of the uniform. So then you pull up. But if we're going just straight baseball socks and do you pull them up, do you not? I think that the people who are doing these baseball short looks where it's over the knee, you know what I'm talking about? those people belong in prison.
No, yeah, it's gonna go right under the knee where the slide is.
Yeah,
The cushions on the
these guys
slide.
that are doing the shorts where they pull them over the knee and it looks like hot pants. You belong in jail. You belong in jail. That's terrible. And
Yeah.
if you think that's okay, log off. You're wrong.
It's the same for the football pants when they have them like up
Yeah,
here.
it's awful. It's awful.
It's like
And
a track athlete.
But in football, it's even a safety thing. You're taking pads out to do that. So but if you think that's okay, log off. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're doing the short thing,
Get out of here.
Jail time. Jail time.
But back to today. Any last words about tonight's game? Then we will play tomorrow as well if we win. Not sure if we're going to be able to film tomorrow. If anything, we'll do it on our social media.
Yeah, we'll go
We'll go live on Facebook probably.
We'll go live on Facebook, maybe Instagram too.
Which is Will's personal and my personal Facebook.
Yeah, we should probably put those. We should probably put those in like some sort of name. When like at some point those should come across the screen.
Yeah. So we'll have a something for you guys to log into.
You guys, I mean, most of these people who are listening are already
friends and family.
Just be on the look for it. If we go live, it'll be from our socials. This was a deal where we didn't record on Monday because we knew Arkansas was going to be playing in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we were going to be watching it. So we wouldn't be able to give you guys a quality episode because our minds would be elsewhere. And so we made the move that, hey, we're going to record on Tuesday. And originally it was, we'll record on Tuesday and we'll try to get it edited and out as quick as possible. And it quickly turned to, why don't we just do a live episode?
Yep.
Because we love these. I do anyway. I love the fact that you guys can interact with us. I love the fact that Jeremy, my boy, has a lot on his plate. Doesn't have to worry about editing this thing because I'm just an on-air talent and I'm here for looks. I don't know how to edit shit.
Yeah, it's okay.
So,
it just takes hours, but it's okay. It works.
Yeah, it's been a fun day up here at Happy's. Been an eventful day. It is any time that Carrie's in the house.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. There were some quotes today that, boy.
Yeah. Guys, if you're still in the chat real quick and you're hearing us, while Will is going to pick this, and I will too, today, who's the guy? It could be multiples. That's fine. But who is the guy you're like, if you had to put all your money on, is going to have a day? Who are we leaning on?
Are we like anybody?
Anybody that you think
pitching, offense,
whatever you want to say. And same question goes to you guys. Who's your pick today to be a guy that is like nails, like Justin Thomas was last night, like Gage Woods was last night? Well, like, do you have a guy?
Pitching, it has to be Zach Root.
Right. But I'm saying if you're going to pick one dude, is that who you're going to roll with? You got to have a good day.
Pitching, well, yeah, he has to. But offensively, I'm going, I think, the hometown kid. I'm going, Cam Kojal has a big day today. I think this UCLA pitching staff matches up better with our offense. I'm going to go Cam Kojal. I have hope we need some kind of production out of Brent Iredale.
Yeah.
It looks bad, Jeremy.
Oh, I'm there. That was my guy.
It just doesn't even look competitive. He looks like he is okay with just taking a left turn and turning back toward the dugout. It just doesn't look competitive. It looks like he is doubting himself. And every swing he takes looks like he's fighting it off. It doesn't look like he's attacking the baseball. It looks like he's swatting at it to get it away from him.
Yeah.
It's bad, man.
Zach says Ryder Helfrich's going to have a day.
Ryder Helfrich will have a day if he learns to recognize the slider low and away. Not only can you not hit that, you certainly can't pull off of it.
I'm picking a guy who hadn't had a great tournament yet. Only been on base, I think, one time, and it was a walk. But I think he's due, and I think for us to move forward, he's got to take that step. Kahil Aloy.
Yeah, if I was going to go anybody, it was going to be Cam Kojal or Kahil Aloy.
I think Aloy's going to have a big day. It ain't got to be crazy. It could just be one hit, but a situational stroke.
Square something up.
Yes, that's it.
Square something up. Like, not just a 100 hopper through the middle of the infield or you fought something off and it's a duck fart single. Square something up, hit it hard, and end up on base. That's what he needs confidence wise. I can still do this.
And in a perfect situation, one Chuck Davalon right out of the gate gets it started like quick.
He's the best leadoff man in the country.
He is, because
He's
I think
best leadoff man Arkansas's ever had. I'll die on that.
Yeah, I already know my mom's going to pick both Island boys.
Get you a fan like Tammy Wilson, because if she's a fan, she will roll with you, man. And I know, because she's been a fan of me forever. And
You know who else she's a fan of that you don't? She only says it, but I've noticed whenever we went to the game, Maxwell.
Me too.
She is a fan of one Logan Maxwell.
Me too.
She says it like we were whenever it was.
You know
crazy.
what? I'm changing my pick.
Maxie's having
Maxie, because he's been my guy since day one. You know, I've told you there's something about that swing that's just comfortable.
Yes.
He hasn't looked comfortable in 2 games, but there's just something about that swing. He knows how to handle a bat. Nothing's ever too big for him. I've been and you get multiple texts anytime he does something. Big Maxwell guy.
Yep.
Big Maxwell guy.
Yep. Mom, she got a picture with Iredale. She got a picture with Pepe. She got a picture with Helfrich. She got a picture with the Alloy brothers.
She is the only fan in the history of she's the only fan this season that has ever sought out a picture with Rocco Pepe.
After the picture, she's standing in line, and the guys are on the field huddled up, and she sees him and goes, I want Maxwell. We didn't get Maxwell because he never came out, but I didn't know that she was a Maxwell fan.
Seems like a first-class kid, too. I mean, and at the end of the day, he's been to Omaha twice in his career.
Yeah.
Like he beat the piss out of Arkansas in the Fayetteville Regional, and then ends up going to Omaha with TCU. Now he's back there with Arkansas. Transfer portal days are wild.
Yeah.
Don't ever cuss a kid out too much. You may be rooting for him in a couple of years.
Let's just hope that all of our picks, since they're all different, all have that breakout day.
Yeah, and if you haven't figured it out, yeah, we're all taking Arkansas here. It would be a disappointment if we don't get this matchup that everybody. It felt like I heard every single expert, particularly at D1 baseball. They had Kendall Rogers and Mike Rooney and Aaron Fitt, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Forgive me, but all of them said, when this kicked off on Saturday with Arkansas LSU, all of them said this feels like the first game of a 3-game series.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going to get 3 of these games, and whoever wins 2 out of 3 against Arkansas and LSU is going to go on and play in the finals. It would be criminal for us not to get that matchup again. It would be criminal. It really would.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hope Chalk holds, just because baseball wants this to happen. Arkansas and LSU, you got to end one. You got to end the season.
One of them has to end the other one's season.
Yeah, you got one can't live while the other survives.
Yeah,
this town ain't big enough for the 2 of us. Omaha's not big enough for the 2 of us. One of us got to go home.
Someone's going to be put on their shield by the other.
Right.
So, let's just hope we all go off. My guy goes off. Your guy goes off. Your guy goes off.
Here's what's nuts, Jeremy. Here's what's nuts. We usually record on Mondays. We could be coming to you guys as national champions next week. That's wild.
Could happen.
That's wild.
Keep the faith.
We might as well say out loud, we do have plans if Arkansas gets to the finals. We do have plans. If Arkansas gets to the finals, we will see you guys before Monday. We will record before Monday, and we will record from Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm telling you right now, I will go with or without you. If Arkansas is in the finals and they have a shot at winning a natty, I will not be there.
Yeah.
I was there when it ripped my soul out.
What are you talking about, with or without me?
I'm saying if you're like, hey, man, I'll sleep in my car. I don't care. Yeah. I do not care.
I'm the one that look, you don't have to, look, man, if you're waiting on me, you're backing up.
I do not care. I'm driving.
I'm not afraid to be unconventional. I know I've said on this podcast before, I don't want to be the stinky guy, but if it means that I don't have to, that I'm not showering, that I'm whatever, because we're sleeping in the car, hey, we're trying to win a natty here.
Yeah. I'm going to be there.
I'm not worried about your nostrils. We're trying to win a natty.
Yeah. You can kiss my stanky ass.
Yeah. So if for nothing else, if for content's sake, pull for Arkansas to get to the finals.
Yeah, because we'll
Because
record the whole way.
we've already had the talk that we'll drive to Omaha during game one of the finals and just kind of watch and listen to game one of the finals. And we are okay with the fact that we may drive all the way to Omaha and then they get beaten too, and we just turn right around and go back. But for content's sake, if Arkansas has a chance to clinch, your boys will be in that thing.
Damn right.
And by extension, you will be too, because the content will be off the wall.
It will be. So
I'm picturing sleeping on the sidewalk, tents. You know,
there will be no tent. We're just laying on the ground.
dude, do you realize who you're dealing with here? Like, if I
laid there.
I've got cerebral palsy. If I lay on the ground and sleep on the concrete, I'm not going to be able to get up the next morning. I can't do that, man. I got a 35-year-old back that's had CP the whole time. It's bad.
It's going to be quite the experience if we can get there. Let's hope so.
There's some pretty big steps that have to be taken in order for that to happen. But
we're on step 2 of 4.
Make no mistake, if Arkansas had gotten out of that 1-0 game and they were the 2-0 team right here, we'd be making reservations right now.
Yeah.
But
so I love you guys. Woo
I do
pig.
too. I don't love you, but you're all right though.
Woo damn pig.
You're all right though. You
this
can
is
hang out.
Episode 2 of Being Live, episode 56 of the We'll See You Later podcast, brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the planet.
We know we've had it all.
3 things, guys, to live by before you get out of here.
Really? No. It's one thing today.
Okay.
It's one thing today. Hogs by a million. Nothing else matters.
3 things to live by. Hogs by a million.
Hogs by
a million.
There you go.
Hogs by a million.
There you go.
And if you have to fart, we don't care. Trust it.
Yeah. Shit your pants. I'm not worried about that.
As long as it's hogs by a million.
Yeah. That's all that matters, guys. We're talking about we've been together on this podcast for what, 3-4 months?
Yeah.
We could cover a national championship in those 3 or 4
Yeah.
months. I'm not worried about where you piss into the wind, against the wind. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about whether you fart and shit your pants. Hogs by a million.
Hogs by a million. Until next time, guys.
We'll see you later.